Hi guys, if you want to work with dynamic linking, you better get organized from the word go, because you might end up with your files of After Effects being somewhere and Premiere Pro being somewhere else, and you really don't know which project you are working with, and you will end up deleting some files or archiving certain files and forgetting about the main project. Now, I will show you here a simple folder structure that will help you a lot and will help you to keep all your files in one place, and you can find them even after 6 months when you have forgotten what the project is all about. Let me show you how. Usually, I create a main folder. In this case, I'm calling it Dynamic Linking. This is for the whole project. Within this folder, I will create a folder for After Effects projects, for Premiere Pro projects, for the renders and proxies, and the shared media. But also, I would create another folder here, if I'm gonna do it, for Audition, Photoshop, and Illustrator, if the project is as intense. Now, within After Effects project, I will put the project of After Effects, of course, same for Premiere Pro projects. Within Render, any file that I want to render from After Effects or Premiere Pro, I will just put them over here, and they are in the same as proxies. Meaning these renders, I might or might not use them at the end. I might render the complete project, you will see how, or use the renders. Then I have the shared media folder. This is the most important. First, it will eliminate duplicating media for After Effects and Premiere Pro. If you double click over here, you will find I did graphics. This is where usually I put, if the project is not so big, Photoshop, Illustrator files, JPEG and PNGs, things like this, where it's mainly graphics and have nothing to do with animation or video. I have the folder for sound and music, extremely useful when I want to use Audition. And of course, I have the media itself, which I call usually videos. Within it, I usually separate them in different folders. In this case, I haven't done so because it's too easy. And depending on the sources, I will create a folder for every source, or for example, for the themes, if I don't want to get lost. In our case here, one folder for videos with our videos, it will be okay. Fine. So I would like you to adopt this structure and organize your files. Do not create After Effects project on a hard drive and Premiere Pro project on another hard drive and then link. No, it will not work. You will lose almost all your work when you disconnect or even delete. Now, in the next lecture, you are going to download your project files. They will be in this kind of structure. Please keep that structure and save as required within Premiere Pro or After Effects or the renders. It will help you a lot. Thank you very much for listening. I will see you in the next lecture. This video you have seen has been created with Premiere Pro for video editing and After Effects for all these superb visual effects you have seen. The footage is from editstock.com. You can go over there and buy it if you like and do the project. It is a very advanced project. I surely hope you will get there, but let's start step by step. In this section, guys, you will start from Premiere Pro. Usually, it's from Premiere that you video edit your footage and then dynamically link to After Effects to add motion graphics, visual effects, and maybe advanced transitions. To get the best learning experience, please watch the lectures in 1080p, high HD, and in full screen. I will take you through the process step by step. The first thing to do is open Premiere, create a project, add a sequence, and populate with the videos you have downloaded. We'll do that just in the next lecture. You will then learn how to create an After Effects composition from within Premiere Pro and establish the dynamic link. I have divided this for you in 2 lectures to make it easy and practical for you to follow along. You will then study how to import After Effects composition, because most of the time you will be creating motion graphics such as lower thirds, titles, and maybe transitions, graphical transitions in After Effects. Then from within Premiere Pro, you will want to import these After Effects comps and add them to your timeline. From Premiere, you can select adjacent clips and replace them with an After Effects composition. This practice is very common. There is lots of power when you start adding visual effects. You see this in many movies, even the clip that you have seen just a few seconds ago. So please Have lots of fun and use your imagination to start noticing the immense possibilities. See you in the next lecture. We are going to start working from within Premiere Pro and bringing After Effects composition. So in this lecture, we are going to organize our Premiere Pro project and create a sequence. Now, if you have Premiere Pro CC 2017, all you have to do is to open project and go to the dynamic linking, the structure here, and you have Premiere Pro projects. You can just open Italy video slides. But if you don't have a CC 2017, then you will need to create a new project. And this is what I'm going to do here. Create a new project and give it a name, for example, video slides. And leave all the parameters and the settings that are okay the way they are. And you say OK. So it will create for us the new project here. I will double click to make it full screen and go to the editing over here. So now you want to import your files. You know very well how to do it. You right click, you go to import, and you go now to the shared media. You can bring in your videos. So we have all the videos here. We bring them in. We say open. And of course now we want to bring our music. We say import, and we go to our music shared media. Just over here we have one music file, and we do open. Now to create your sequence, I made it very easy for you. Just to be on the same line, you and me, just select all the files here. And these are the video files, of course. And you know, I numbered them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all you have to do is to select them in the order 1, 2, 3, 4, and then click and drag and drop them to create your first sequence. And you can, of course, name your sequence. Let's take the music now and just drop it over here. Let's organize a bit. We create a new bin, and we call it media, and we are going to take all the files except the sequence itself and drop them inside media. Here you are. That should be organized like this, because later on we are going to start importing After Effects. I hope you do this small job so we can start in the next lecture bringing in and creating After Effects compositions from within Premiere Pro. See you then. Our first step is, from within Premiere Pro, we are going to create an After Effects composition, of course, using the Adobe Dynamic Link. For this, you come to File, and you have the Adobe Dynamic Link, and you notice the first one is grayed out. You have New After Effects Composition and Import After Effects Composition. We are going to go for New After Effects Composition. But before that, so I can show you both programs running, I will make this Premiere Pro here window a window, in fact. So you go to File, and you say Adobe Link, New After Effects Composition. And here it will ask you for your video settings. It will take exactly the same video settings for the comp in After Effects as the one that you have for your sequence. So there is no mismatch at all. And of course, the size is the same, that is width and height. You click OK, and let's see what will happen. Here you are. It opened Adobe After Effects CC 2017. Notice I have exactly the same version. And it's asking you to save the file before you can start working within After Effects. Let's give it a name, for example. Let's call it lower third. For this one, we're going to do some lower third and stories like this. No problem. And we click Save. Now, notice exactly what's happening. This is why I have this display for you, so you can see both software without having to switch screens. First, I have here a composition that has been created, and it's called Video Slides Linked Comp 03. Now, it is 03 because I have been working here to show you the demonstration. No problem with that. Now, notice also in Premiere Pro over here, it has created a linked composition. You can read Video Slide Link Comp 03 from within the file or the project file lowerthird.aep. So now you have one over here and one over here. And within After Effects, now it has opened this composition and you're ready to work. Very nice, very easy, very practical. Let's add some text. We go for the text tool and we write, for example, Italy's Sight and Sounds. Okay, let's center it. We come to the align and we center it. Okay, the font is okay. We are using Roboto here, I think. Let's see, Roboto Light, fine. Now, as soon as this is done, if you go back to Premiere Pro, take the linked composition here and just drop it on top of your videos, you will notice it's already there and you can see it. Let's trim it. We take it just to the next frame and we use the razor. Here you are. We just cut it, selection tool, and just delete it. So we have only a portion because we want to do something else later. You notice it's already updated. Let's come back to Premiere Pro. Let's see how this system works a bit better. If you select, for example, the rectangle, deselect everything and try to put a background just like this. Press space bar and move it down. Okay, and of course we want to put it under the character. Let's change its color. We will go to the fill here and we make it dark gray, maybe something like this, as you like. You can also choose any color you want. Let's make it a bit smaller. It's too big. We adjusted. Fine. Here it is. And then I wait for the green line. Just come back to Premiere Pro. And if you just move it a bit, it's already there. Sight and sound. I hope I didn't do a spelling mistake. Here you are. So let's animate the text. I will select the text itself and go to Effect and Preset. And from within Animation Preset, let's take text. And you have text in, for example. Taking a very simple example. Animate in. And let's say fade up lines or fade up words or fade up character is the nicest fade up character, and we just drop it over here. So now we have our small composition here. The characters are coming. Notice now it's all green. I can stop it or let it running. Come back to Premiere Pro and let's look at our animation now or our video. Here you are, is done. So creating a composition and bringing it into Premiere Pro using File and of course Adobe Dynamic Link, new After Effects composition is pretty easy. Now where can you get in problem is when you start putting lots of effects here, it might delay a bit. That's it. Now we need to save our project. We press Ctrl S, we saved it. We need to save our Premiere Pro project, and here we are. We have done the job. You are already doing dynamic linking and it's very easy. Now it's up to you, of course, to change a bit and make it better, but this is the concept and it's pretty easy. Thank you very much for listening. I hope this was very useful for you. I'll see you in the next lecture. Let's go a step further. Let's say we want to add another lower third for the second clip. If you remember the first composition here, we went to File and Adobe Dynamic Link, new After Effects composition. It has opened After Effects and asked us to save the file and then created the comps. Now if I do the same procedure again, what will happen? Let's see that together. Let's go to File and say Adobe Dynamic Link and we say new After Effects composition. So it will ask me here for the video settings. I will say okay, not bad. And if you notice, it has created another comp. Let's make the name a bit longer. Here you are. So you notice this one was comp 03, this one is comp 04 in the same file. Let's look inside After Effects and here you are. You have two comps now, 03 and 04. Now notice if you change the name over here, it will not change it in Premiere Pro and vice versa. Now I advise you not to change the names unless you want to change the name here and in Premiere Pro and make it identical. Cool. Let's create our new lower third here. And for the second clip, let's look at the clip and we say, I think it's about espresso. Cool. So let's write here best espresso. Okay, we take our selection tool, we just put it in the middle. Let's go to align. I like that, and we just center it over here, put it a bit up. Okay, I'm not gonna go further, just show you the techniques of how the linking is working. So I will go to Effect and Preset, and let's say this time we use a random fade up. Okay, click on it, drop it on the layer, and here you are. If you play it, it's pretty nice. Okay, now let's go to Premiere Pro. Let's take our link composition and drop it above. But now this is not exactly, I want to cut it all the time. The best way is to select your clip because I want it only on this clip. Press the backslash, here you are. So I put the in and out point according to this clip. I will select my comp and just press a period for insert edit. Here you are, it just inserted it. It's pretty cool, right guys? So now if we play, we notice that's coming, but we cannot see it because we don't have any background here. We can add a background if you like. We deselect, take the rectangle and just draw a simple background here. Take the background below. Okay, notice this is about linking and not about doing lower thirds. But yet I will show you in this course how to do very nice ones. Here you are. Let's put it over here. Come back And here it is. Let's see if it's nice. Well, here you are. It's playing very nicely. Of course, I'm not suggesting that this is the only thing you're gonna do. Please work out a very nice lower third, and I will show you how by the end of this course. You will get to know how. So if we do another file and dynamic link and new composition, it will create a new composition and put it in the two files, and it will not ask us to reopen the After Effects file. Thank you very much for listening. I hope this was very useful. I hope by now you are very used to adding a new composition within Premiere Pro and create it in After Effects. We save both files, Ctrl S and Ctrl S, and we move on. See you next lecture. Up till now, we have used create a new composition from After Effects. It has opened a file for us. We saved this file and we created our composition. But what happens if your animation is already ready and the only thing that you want to do is to export it to Premiere and start using it? Let's see how we can do that. First, I need to repair something I did last time, is to add the sound from the link comp here. So I will delete the sound now just to make it correct. And also this one, I'm pressing Alt or Option on the Mac to select. I will also delete this one and just trim it back, so we are okay. And from now on, I make sure that the patch here for the audio is off. Cool. There are two ways for you to import a composition from After Effects. The first one is good, but not that good. It is the import. You will import it, but it will not have any dynamic link. Meaning, if you update it in After Effects, it will not update in your Premiere Pro project. So let's now use the Adobe Dynamic Link and go to Import After Effects Composition. Let's see how this works. We click on it and it will open over here now my data D, and there are in our After Effects project I added motion text. If you click on motion text, it will give you the comps within the After Effects project. I want to choose lower third and I will click OK. So this is an already ready lower third that I want to use in my project. Let's come to the second clip over here and click on the file that is lower third motion text.aap. I'll just click and drag and just put it here. Okay, that's fine. Unfortunately, this file is done in 1920 by 1080 is bigger than the frames here. So what I have to do is to right click and go to scale to frame size or set to frame size, anyone you want. And here it is, it's working very fine. Let's look at the animation we brought in. Pretty cool, and this is the length of time. Of course, you want to make it longer, you can right click on it and use a frame hold option, add frame or insert frame segment, depending on what you want to do. This is mainly Premiere Pro. So now I have the comp here and it's doing fine. But what happens if I want to edit it? How would I edit it? It's very simple. You have the option to right click and say edit original. When you click, it will open After Effects. So let's make this one a window. We see After Effects opening here, and it will open the project where you have this composition. It's going to open motion text. Here you are. It has opened motion text, and it has also opened the comp itself, which is pretty nice. Now you can play it over here and decide, okay, I want to change the colors. Let's come over here. I will click on the fill for the color, select this color over here, make it yellow, for example. Yep, something like this. Okay, that's not working. Okay, that will do. Come to this color and just make it white. That will be a bit nicer. You can also change the color of the text if you would like. Let's look what's happening over here. It has updated, is working very much live. And here you are now. You have 3 comps from After Effects, 2 that you have created and 1 that you have imported. So the lesson here is when you want to import, you go to File, you go to Adobe Dynamic Link, of course, and you say Import, and you choose your After Effects project. Then you choose the comp. That's pretty nice. And you can insert it in your sequence. If you want to edit it, you right click and you go to Edit Original, as simple as this. So that's it. It's so easy. Now, the trick here to have them always working is to open Premiere Pro and After Effects together, because the engine here will work much better and will render much better for Premiere Pro when After Effects is open. Thank you very much for listening. I'll see you in the next lecture. Basically, if you're using dynamic linking with After Effects, you will want to take a clip or even a series of clips into After Effects, and within After Effects not only use the motion graphics that are there, but also the very powerful effects that you can have, including the green screen, the blurring effects, and so many effects that you can use in After Effects that are not available in Premiere Pro. Let's see how you can do this. Let's go, for example, to these 3 clips over here. We want to take them to After Effects and apply some effects, or even create a whole animation with the 3 clips, and of course preview them and include them in our Premiere Pro project. The best way to do that is for you to select your clips and right click and go to Replace with After Effects Composition. First, let's minimize this to make it a window. Then let's go over here. We zoom to fit, right click, and go Replace with After Effects Composition. Here you are. Now obviously it's gonna open After Effects. As you can see, it's not open. And let's see what's gonna ask us. Here you are. It has opened a new project in After Effects, and it's asking you to save the project. Let's give it a good name. For example, Gondola Effects. And we click Save. Now, of course, you have the composition here, and notice how it has brought in all the video. Now, it did not copy or made another copy of your videos within your folders. This is just a link, and it has borrowed the links from Premiere Pro. Pretty convenient, because you can create different other compositions also. So now we have here our videos. The 3 of them are listed, and notice the timing of the composition. It is not greater or less than the 3 clips put together. Cool. It's even have selected them for you to start working. Let's go to Premiere Pro now, and notice that your clips have already been replaced by the video slide link Gondola Effects composition here. Cool. So let's do some animation within After Effects and see what will happen in Premiere Pro. I will take this opportunity to show you, if you do certain manipulations within After Effects, what will happen in Premiere Pro. Let's expand After Effects. And the first thing I want to do is to create a nice animation. I'm going to put them each on top of each other, just like this. Select all of them. Press S for scale and scale them at 30%, something like this. And then I will put one over here, for example, another one over here, and another one over here. Maybe we can scale them a bit better and go to 40%. I think so. Yes, much better. And now we want, first of all, to animate them. So we'll select the 3 of them. Press P for position. Here we are. We keyframe the position here. And we move on to a few frames, just 10 frames. This clip is pretty short. And keyframe the position again. That's where we want them. In the beginning here, let's take this one out to this direction, just over here. And the second layer, let's take it to this side. And this one, maybe we take it just to the outside. Here you are. So you have a very simple animation. They're coming. It's pretty fast, by the way. Let's make it a bit longer. Okay. Now, for each video here, I want to apply a certain effect. Let's see what effects we can apply just to demonstrate to you, and later on you can apply all kinds of effects. I will try to apply here the bevel alpha and some other effects we'll see. Let's go to effects and preset. We write bevel. Okay, we're trying to use just simple effects just to show you how the linking works. I will go to bevel edges. Here you are. And I will adjust the first one only. I will take it down. Okay, that's cool, for example. Right. I will now copy the bevel edge, Control C or Command C on the Mac, and come to the other 2 layers. And just over here, Control V. You notice what happened. So now, look what's happening. They're coming in. And they're staying. Now I have a slight problem here because this video is pretty short. Let's go to time remapping, just over here. We notice that the second layer is 3 seconds long. So I will come over here. And of course, I want to type 3 seconds. So that will be 300. It will be exactly the same length. And I will do the same for this guy and write 300 to make it 3 seconds. Cool. So now I have them all at 3 seconds. And notice after that, I don't have anything here. Okay. So I will play it. So it renders and I have a green line. So it's live in Premiere Pro. And let's see exactly what's going to happen in Premiere. Okay, I will stop it over here, minimize it or make it a window, go to Premiere and notice what's happening here. Let's zoom out first. Here you are. And let's play. And actually, when the comp finishes over here, there is nothing to be displayed. Cool. So of course you want to trim it. But let's see another thing also. Let's come to After Effects over here. Select one of the layers. Press O to go to the end of the layer. Press N to trim the work area. And just trim comp to work area. So now the composition is only 3 seconds. I will play it to get the green line and see it live in Premiere Pro. And then I'll come back to Premiere Pro. We can stop this one now and see exactly what happened. If I play, if we zoom a bit, so you notice here you have certain diagonal lines. Let's expand Premiere Pro, and there is nothing, absolutely nothing. So actually Premiere Pro did not trim the clip within your timeline. But is the original clip trimmed? Let's try. We click on it and just bring it over here. Here you are. And there is no extra frames that are black. Okay, so this is the way to deal with it. If you have reduced your comp size, remember when it opened the files for you and put the composition, it was exactly the time of the 3 clips that you have here. But now you reduce the time in After Effects. Of course, in Premiere Pro, it did not reduce your clip size within the timeline, but it adjusted the clip itself, the linked clip here. So the best way to do is to delete. Here you are. Bring this one down. And maybe if you come to the end of this clip, lock the sound here and press W. And here you are. You have executed a ripple trim. And it's okay and fantastic. It's working 100%. So now you understand how to work within After Effects and what happens if you trim your comp or leave your comp without anything in the timeline. What happens here and the diagonal lines, it means I don't have frames to display. Slowly, you will get used to it. I showed you the most important aspect of replacing with a comp. In fact, it was a complicated example in terms of Premiere Pro. I hope this was very useful for you. I hope you start taking your clips to After Effects, putting some effects. There are so many great effects in After Effects that you can use. Thank you very much for listening. I'll see you in the next lecture. Remember guys, the first time we used replace with After Effects composition, After Effects was closed, it opened, it created a new file and asked us to save it, and then created the comp, and then of course opened the comp for us to edit. But now let's see what will happen if you use the same option while After Effects is open, and I have here a save the project by the way. Cool, let's right click and say replace with After Effects composition. Let's go to After Effects, and here you are. It has created a new comp and opened it. It has brought in your video, of course, so you can work with it, and you are ready to do some work over here. Let's do something nice. Let's go to, for example, transition or preset transitions. Here you are, and you have transition dissolves. Some of them I like. I'm not going to work much on it, just to show you. Take it over here. Let's remove the timely map, and the other one also we don't need it. Let's also open the keyframes and make it a bit shorter, half a second. Let's play it. Cool, you have a nice transition, or of course you can come and tweak it and do lots of work on it. It will be pretty cool. Now it's green, and I can go to Premiere Pro and play. So it's playing the first one, and then it's coming with the second one. Cool. So you notice how easy it is to bring in After Effects compositions in Premiere Pro. I showed you almost all the methods, and still there is a lot of work to do. You will discover it slowly, and try to use the best effects within After Effects. See you in the next lecture. You covered lots of ground in dynamic linking, and I hope you're having fun doing lots of practice. You will now dive into creating dynamic links from within After Effects and linking sequences brought in from Premiere Pro. There are many advantages to this. Some of them would be: you will avoid rendering the sequences to create video files to import into After Effects. This is already a wonderful time saver and will allow you to become quite efficient. Also, when you play back a dynamically linked sequence from within After Effects, the playback will use Premiere Engine, which is much faster when it comes to videos than the one in After Effects. There might be lots of visual effects to add in After Effects. Bringing in the sequence will make the work easier and more efficient also. There are 2 main techniques to create these dynamic links. The first one is to create a new sequence from within After Effects and then jump to Premiere to populate it and video edit it if need be. Then back to After Effects to finalize your work. The other method is to import an already existing sequence from a Premiere Pro project. This is a powerful option. Instead of working on a final rendered video, you will be able to video edit in Premiere while adjusting your work in After Effects. And also, you will use the video playback engine of Premiere. For you After Effects addicts, using this method makes you the video editor boss, because the final render will be from After Effects, and you get all the responsibility also. So let's jump in. Now let's inverse the workflow. You want to create a sequence, a Premiere Pro sequence from within After Effects. Now you would be asking, why am I going to do that? I mean, Premiere Pro is where you edit your videos. Well, the first good reason is, when you bring a sequence from Premiere Pro and you play it in After Effects, it will play much faster because it is using the video playback engine of Premiere Pro. This is the main reason I used, and it comes out very nice. Or maybe you have a video editor on the other side who's working on the sequence, cutting and pasting and doing his work, and you want to be always up to date with the sequence and create the lower thirds, the animation, and even the visual effects, the cuts, the transitions within After Effects, and you want to be at 100% up to date. You will notice that the end product will be in After Effects, exactly like it was in Premiere Pro. The end product was in Premiere Pro. Now it's going to be in After Effects. So let's start here. To create a new dynamically linked sequence from within After Effects, you just go to File, and of course you have the Adobe Dynamic Link, and you select New Premiere Pro Sequence. Let's see what will happen. So it has opened After Effects, and there is a panel that's on the other screen for me, and it's asking you to create a new project. Pretty interesting, right? Let's create this project, let's say for AE, for After Effects. And of course, in the dynamic linking folder, we are going to put it in Premiere Pro project here. Let's keep everything the same here. We are okay with it, and click OK. So after it creates the project for you, it's going to ask you to create a sequence. Here you are, and it's asking you for a standard sequence. You can do the settings here the way you would like them. But notice what's happening here. Where did you get this custom and the 25 frames per second and the frame size horizontal and vertical? If you remember in After Effects, when you create a composition, it always gives you the settings of the previous composition that you have created, even in different projects. Just the last settings you have used for a comp. And here it has done the same. It has used the 25 frames. This is what I usually use for motion graphic within After Effects, and 1280 by 720. All this is okay for me because these are the last settings I used in After Effects. But you can come over here and change to whatever you like. For example, for now we are going to change the time base and take it to 30 because our videos are 30 frames per second. And we click OK. Fine. So it has created our sequence, and of course it's empty. Let's see what happened in After Effects. You notice a linked sequence have been created, and it's not in a composition, it's just a linked sequence. There is no comp that has been created. We can click and drag to create a comp. Let's do like this. So now we have the composition with the same name as the linked sequence. Let's change the name here. We just click and press enter. We say main project. Okay, so now you're the big guy, not the video editor. It really doesn't matter. Notice this is a comp within After Effects. It has nothing to do with Premiere Pro. And you notice there is nothing showing here because the sequence here is not populated. We have nothing inside. So let's populate the sequence and see what happens later in After Effects. I will right click and say import and go to videos only and select all the videos and press open. Here you are, they are all listed. Now I'll show you a very nice tip here that you might use from time to time. Let's expand the project for AE, and let's do like this. We start with flag, and then Venus, then espresso, then Venus 1, and so on. You know, just randomly I'm gonna take them. Okay, I will show you why. And then I will come to the same button that's already here now and say automate to sequence. Here you are. Now here it says automate to sequence. So this is the automate to sequence panel. I have the ordering. It can be the selection order. Notice how I selected the espresso, then Italy, and then the others. This is the selection order. Or I can use the sort order here. In the sequence one, this placement can be sequential or at a numbered markers, but I don't have any marker. So let's leave it as sequential. The method used by default is override edit, and insert edit could be very useful if you had any clips within your sequence. Cool. Still, I don't have any still. I don't want any transition here. I'm okay. I'm gonna just click OK. Here you are. Let's go back. And I have here all the clips. I will press the backslash to see them. Now you have your sequence built and running. Cool. That was easy, right, guys? So remember this small button here. Let's make it a window and come back to After Effects. If you play, here you are. You notice it's playing much faster for After Effects at least. Here you are. So you have your sequence over here. If you go to the out point of this layer, then press N and trim the comp to work area. Now you have equal timing between the sequence and your composition. So now you have used After Effects to create a sequence in Premiere Pro and to populate, of course, the sequence within Premiere Pro. Please go to Premiere Pro and After Effects and try it at least once. I will see you in the next lecture. So now let's see how this dynamic linking works. We are going to do some adjustment in Premiere Pro and see how they are reflected in After Effects. I will come to Premiere Pro. First of all, I will save, Ctrl S, and also in After Effects, I will save, and it will ask me for a name. Of course, I'm gonna call it From Premiere. Let's see, save, that will do. Fine. So let's do some adjustment. Let's go for the most aggressive, the look and the grading. That's pretty powerful in Premiere Pro. For this, we will create a new adjustment layer. Of course, I'm sure you know that if you have taken my course. Put the adjustment layer on top here and just make it longer. Here you are. And then let's grade the adjustment layer and everything will be reflected on the clips under. Let's go for something very aggressive here. We take the Noir Nouvelle. It will be black and white, but very beautiful. Here you are. So you give this grading to your video, and I like it very much, by the way. Gives you this sense of, I don't know, some kind of oldies, but still new. Cool. Let's go back to After Effects and play our animation. You already see it has taken the effects from here. Now let's do something else in After Effects. For example, I will introduce a kind of an effect to create some kind of a blur for the opening here. So let's go to blurs. They are just over here, blur and sharpen. I will use, for example, the fastbox blur. Here it is. Drop it. Of course, I will keyframe here at, I don't know, something like this. Go to 1 second and put it back to 0. So you have a nice entrance for the video, and we repeat edge pixels. Cool. So we're starting to work in After Effects, applying certain effects. Now, I will save After Effects here, the project altogether, and then go back to Premiere and see what happened. Actually, nothing happened. So you notice, like it was before when we are creating from Premiere Pro, now when we create from After Effects, any changes you do in After Effects will not reflect in Premiere Pro. But any changes you do in Premiere Pro, they will reflect in After Effects. For example, if you take the second video here and we replace it with the coffee, let's click on it and lock the adjustment layer so it doesn't move. We press Ctrl and just move it to the other side. They invert, and you notice we changed the order of the clips. Let's go to After Effects and see exactly what happened. And here you are. I think the order has changed. The coffee comes before the gondola, whatever is there. So actually, this is how you will work. You will create a sequence, populate it, and it's in After Effects now, and you can start adding even more effects. Thank you very much for listening. I know this was very useful for you, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Now guys, from within After Effects, let's explore how to import a sequence from Premiere Pro. So in After Effects, I will keep my project open, of course. I'll come to Premiere Pro. Let's make it big and create a new sequence. For example, I will take the first three, just the three of them, click and drag and create a new sequence. And this sequence, I will rename it. I will call it to After Effects, something like this. Okay, I think it's unique. I will save the Premiere Pro project here, that is 4AE, and shut down Premiere Pro. Now, let's go to After Effects. And from here, of course, you have two ways to import a sequence. The first one is Import File, and you will choose your sequence. I will show you that later, but it will not be dynamically linked. To have a dynamically linked sequence from Premiere Pro to After Effects, you need to use, of course, the Adobe Dynamic Link. And that's what the whole course is all about. So I will choose Import Premiere Pro Sequence. Here you are. Now I will go to 4ae.prg. That's our file. We click on it and we have our sequence here to AE and we click OK. Notice that it has been imported in After Effects as a media again. Fine, we can double click on it and preview it within the footage. Pretty cool, right guys? You can see it, browse it, do whatever you want with it here. You can put the in-out point and work with it. And also you can click, drag and create a composition and put your effects and play the way you want. Now, let's say you want to edit this one. It's not working here. You don't like the sequence. You want to change a couple of things inside. To modify your media here, the sequence itself, of course you have to open Premiere Pro, open the file and go to the sequence. But the direct way is to select your media, that's the sequence here. You can select it in the project panel or in your timeline over here and just press Ctrl E. On the Mac it will be Command E, of course. And Premiere Pro will open the project and the sequence and you will be ready to edit. Let's see. Here you are, you notice now Premiere Pro is open, your sequence is open and you're ready to edit it. Pretty cool, right? If you do some changes, for example, within Premiere Pro, then you can click on this one, bring it forward, do whatever you want as editing here. And then when you come back to After Effects, you have it. The second clip now is already the espresso, I think so. Yes, that's what you have done. So actually, it's pretty easy to work with the dynamic links. One word of advice, guys. Always open the two programs. Open Premiere Pro and open After Effects. Because if you're importing from Premiere Pro into After Effects like we have done here, when you preview, it's using the engine of Premiere Pro to preview. So it's good if it's open. And vice versa, if you're getting from After Effects into Premiere Pro, make sure After Effects is open. It will help a lot with rendering and the blurs and a lot of effects that you will want to work with. Thank you very much for listening. I hope this was very useful for you. If you have any questions, remember, put them in the Q&A section of this course. I will see you in the next lecture. Hi guys, from time to time you might find out that your composition here from After Effects is heavyweight and is not running smoothly. You might want to render it, create a video file and place it in your sequence so you can have a smooth playback over here. The way to do that is to right click on your clip and go to render and replace. Now you will get the render and replace panel, which is asking you want the sequence or individual clips because you could have selected many clips and render each one of them. And it's asking you for the format and the preset. Unfortunately, I want to do H.264, which give me the highest compression with very good quality. I don't have this preset here. So I need to import a preset, but I did not create any preset for H.264. So I'll show you now how to create a preset the very easy way from Adobe Media Encoder. So let's go to Adobe Media Encoder. Here we are. In Adobe Media Encoder, if you come to User, Presets and Groups, actually I deleted everything or I moved everything so it doesn't show here for you, so you are starting clean. You can come to the plus sign, click on it, and you have two options here. Create encoding preset. Encoding is for the videos, of course, this is where you get the H.264. And you can create an ingest preset. This is about ingesting your videos. Now we are concerned with create encoding preset. I'll click on it. It will open an export setting here for me, and this is the preset setting, and it's calling it new preset. Let's call it H.264. And then we are using the H.264 format. In the based on preset, I'm going to click on it and choose match source high bitrate. That will be quite good because it will match the source. You can choose any other preset you want. I will choose high bitrate. I come back to the name usually and I write H.264 HBR, high bitrate. And the command here to use with project, whatever you like. The settings here are exactly match source. So we're cool with it for now. Cool. I will say OK. And the preset has been created. Now, I need to import this preset within Premiere Pro, but I don't know where it is. So I will right click and go to Reveal Preset in File. And here you are, the preset is under Users, LOI, Documents, Adobe Media Encoder 11.0 preset, and here it is. Fine. Let's go back to Premiere Pro. So I will say import here. And of course, I already set it up. I came to the same directory here, and this is the h264hbr.epr, that is being preset. I will click open, and immediately it's set for me the format and the preset I want. Now all I have to do is to make sure that you put it in the right folder. We talked about that previously. I will browse, and of course I want to go to my data, and then I will go to dynamic linking, and here I have renders and proxies. This is where I'm gonna put it. Guys, please don't put it somewhere else or anywhere on the zip drive or something like this. I will select the folder and say okay. Now it's gonna work a bit. It's not bad. This is a very short clip. Sometimes it can work for half hour if you have a long clip. And when it finishes, it's going to replace the After Effects composition here with the rendered video. Here you are. Now you notice it's yellow, so it's running at 100%. I don't have a problem. Let's see what happened here. You notice you have another video. Let's extend the name. And now it's a quite big name. Video slides, linked comp, 07, Condola effects, and AAP render. It's a long name. I will advise you never to change it because it's reflecting the name of the original. Now this is very cool. You have done it and you are very happy, but now you want to edit it. Okay, fine, you like it, but you notice one of them is not coming right here. You want 1, 2, 3. If you press Ctrl E here, you are going to go to Premiere Pro to edit a video. That's my case. Of course, it's not gonna work. So the way to do it is to right click and go to Restore Unrendered. I click on it once. Now here you are, it's back to a composition from After Effects. If I right click on it and say Reveal in Project, here it is the composition from After Effects. I can press Ctrl E and go edit it in After Effects. So this is the way to speed up your work, is to render and replace within your sequence. And then if you want to work again on it, of course, you will remove the render. Now, if you do some changes in After Effects and you get back here and you want to render again, it is the same procedure with render and replace. Thank you very much for listening. I hope this was very useful for you. And usually the way I work is to start from zero. While I'm very comfortable with what I have here, I will render them all to play very fast. In the next lecture, we see about dropped frames, which will help you to see if you're running in real time or not. In the previous lecture, we have seen how to use the render and replace and have a video instead of the After Effects clip. And of course, the video will be listed in our project panel and we can use it. We still have the link to the original composition that we can edit, render again and replace, and we still work within Premiere Pro. Now we have the same option in After Effects where we can create a video and preserve the dynamic linking to the project in which the video has been created, of course within After Effects. Let me show you how this can happen. I will select the clip here and press Ctrl E, of course, to open it in After Effects. Here you are, it's already opened. Now, let's maximize After Effects and let's go to composition here and go to add to render queue. Now, you know you have the best setting, lossless, and where you want your file to be outputted. Let's click on lossless, and you notice here you have include project link. If you check this one, within the video that you are going to produce, there will be a link to the project and to the composition that you can open from Premiere Pro. So let's go to QuickTime, I like this, and use H264. We're cool with the other options. We click OK. Of course, now we need to output it according to our structure and in the renders folder. I will click on it. Here I am in the dynamic linking. I will go to renders and I can keep, for example, a video slide and we call it flag, just flag, because it has a flag in the background, for example. I will say save. Now I will render. It has finished rendering. I will just close After Effects just to demonstrate to you, and I will save the changes. And then coming back to Premiere Pro, let's maximize this one. We right click and we say import. And of course, we go to our video slides flag here and we say open. Here you are. Now we have the video that you can put in our comp and use it as a normal clip. But it has a link to the After Effects project. So if you select it and you right click and go to edit original, Let me minimize first to show you exactly. I will right click again and go edit original. Of course, you could press Ctrl E or Command E on the Mac. You will notice that After Effects is opening now, and it will take us to the project and to the composition where this video was created. Here you are. It took us to the project Condola Effects, and it opened the composition where we have created the video. Here you are. So actually, this link that you put within the render is very useful to open the videos directly from within Premiere Pro into After Effects. Now, if by mistake you deleted this file or renamed it, or you deleted this composition, then Premiere Pro here will get lost a bit and will just give you the name of the project where this composition is supposed to be, or where you have rendered this video. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you use this option all the time. In fact, I will see you in the next lecture. There is something here I would like to show you. Maybe I will not have the chance to show you again. Sometimes you will open Premiere Pro and your linked compositions are not visible. Don't worry so much about it. Just come to the comp over here, double click on it and play it, and you will see it will refresh and it will appear over here. This is just a small note. And if you leave it sometimes because of the memory of your computer or your hard drive being very busy, it will not appear. But don't worry about it. It will be very well rendered, and you can just refresh it by playing it in the source monitor here. Thank you for listening. I hope this was a good tip. See you in the next lecture. Hi guys, as conclusion and application, I will show you something very interesting that you can start using now. These kind of mats, if you like, I call them video mats, are sold in the market, and it's very important that you learn how to create them in After Effects and use them in Premiere Pro and create a good dynamic link. So here I have a project application. You can download it later on from the resources, and then I have the Premiere Pro project we have been working on. Within Premiere Pro, I'm gonna take one of the videos, that's Venice 1, and create a new sequence. So I have my sequence here, very nice. I will come and try to loop. Okay, so when I play, it loops back so we can see our work. Cool. Now let's go to File and Adobe Dynamic Link, and we say New After Effects Composition. Give me the dimensions, very happy from it, everything is fantastic. Let's go now to Premiere Pro. We will extend the view, and the first thing I want to do is to create a shape. Here you are. I will give it this color, is okay, but then I will come to the rectangle size here. I will remove the link and make it 100 in height. That's it, that's a band. Then I will just put it on top for the composition. Cool. Then I will duplicate the shape layer. That's it. Put it on bottom. Here you are. Then select both of them, change the color to black. That's it. You could have created solid layers. Cool. So we've done this. Let's go back to Premiere Pro. Take our composition here and drop it on top of the video. Notice what you have done. People try to sell you this. You created the cinematic look. So actually, you don't have to go out to the market and start, buying these things and people showing off on you. No, you learn dynamic linking. Here you are. It's done. You have the cinematic look. Let me show you even something more interesting now, something that you will really like to duplicate and work on it. So I have here just these two. I will lock them. As simple as this. I want to lock both of them. Then I will create another shape layer. I will just double click here and let's give it the color white so we make a difference. Okay, I will select it and come to its size. Now I would like to create 5 of them and animate. So I will create one and use the repeater. So I will come to size here and remove the link, of course. In the 1280, I will write 1280 divided by 5. It comes to 256. Let's make it 250 only. Okay, and 720 is too big. We have taken 100 and 100, so it should be around 520 only. Here you are. Quite cool, right? I will align it on the side. That's fine. Then I will remember it's 250 here. I will add now a repeater. Come to repeater and repeat this one 5 times. Okay, but the distance I will change it from here, and instead of 100 I will write 250. Okay, I need a bit more if you notice. So I will use the control or command on the Mac and just make it a bit more so you can still start seeing the transparent line. Here you are. That's fine for me now. I think it's okay. Maybe a bit more. Let's say 258. Here you are. Cool. Now, it's as simple as I'm gonna do. You won't believe this. What I will be doing here is to add, for example, a solid layer. Here we say new solid layer, and we make the solid layer black. That's no problem. Then I'm gonna take both of them to down, take the solid layer down, and this is the shape where we replicated. And then on the solid layer, I will put an alpha inverted matte. Now that's what's happening here. You have black, you have some lines that are pretty thick, but it's okay, and you have transparency. Cool. Let's animate the repeater here. I will open and come to content, and inside content I have the number of copies. I will keyframe and make it 0 in the beginning. Then after, for example, I don't know how big is this. Okay, after, for example, 20 frames, here you are, I will get it back to 5. And then we animate as simple as this. Let's see. Cool, nice, beautiful. As simple as I'm gonna show you. Look what happened in Premiere Pro. Look what you have created. Let's open and let's play it. Cool, guys. Now you are a professional video editor. Now you are doing cinematics. You're doing uncovering through masks done in After Effects. But that's not everything. There is so much that you can do. For example, let's go back to After Effects here and complicate things. As simple as this. I like complicating things, right, guys? So we lock these two layers. We are very safe. We come to the shape layer here. And instead of having the size 250 by 520, let's divide 520 by 2. Simple. Now it became a bit smaller, right? I like moving it up with the position. So remember, the top one was 100. Here I'm at 360. So I will take it back, of course, to 260 maybe. Something like this. Now I can see it. In fact, here you are. That's fine here. Okay. Now if I play the animation, look what's happening. It's open there. Now let's move to this side. Okay. I have the solid here too big. So I want to make it smaller. So I will just make it smaller. And I need to adjust it so it covers only the area that's supposed to cover. Here. A bit bigger. Here you are. Let's say just like this. This is cool. And then I will align it to the side. If I run the animation now, that's what's happening. Cool. Okay, let's take these two shape layers and just duplicate them. Now we have them, running here, and they're running on top of each other. Just click and take it down. Okay, press shift. It's coming down. I need to adjust the solid layer. I'll just take it a bit smaller. Okay, over here, and then take it down. A bit bigger. Here you are. I like that. Now, let's play the animation. Not bad, but that's not exactly what we want, right? We're going to open the keyframes here, pressing U. And maybe for the other one, we press U. We see the keyframes. And this is what we are going to do. Just move the keyframes on the side. Now, actually, this is a very simple animation. Cool. It's done. Let's go to Premiere Pro and see the magic now. An instant magic. Here you are. Fantastic. Okay, guys, so notice the applications here. I know I went a bit fast and there is a small mistake here, but actually you can really work it out and make it very meticulously so it can really be very exciting. These are mattes or video mattes. And notice now you can right click and render and replace. And then you have a matte, a video matte that you can use anywhere. It's so easy, so simple. And also it gives a lot of style to your videos. So from it's just a plain video here, we ended up having something quite nice, and we ended up having quite some animation. Now I know I left a few things, I should have worked on them, but usually this is what I do. I work roughly, then come back and adjust it exactly the way I want. For example, these lines are too thick, this one is too thin, maybe make them a bit thicker and work on it. But this is the simple concept. Look at our work. We did a very simple animation in After Effects. Just 4 keyframes, or in fact 2 keyframes. One at the beginning, one at the end, for 2 layers. And we have a very simple animation, and we used the inverted track matte. Who doesn't know it? I'm sure you already know it. If not, take my course. the complete After Effects course from beginner to expert. You will be able to do all these things very smoothly. In fact, there is a section that explains this within After Effects without putting the link in Premiere Pro. You could benefit from this section. I hope you enjoyed the course. I hope it was wonderful for you. I hope you really learned a lot. And do some videos, do some editing, do some animation within After Effects. Use the dynamic link, and I will be very happy if you post them on YouTube to see them and work with you and get you to become the video editor and the animator you want to become. Thank you very much for listening. I will see you in the next course.